Well, I had a big critter in this set last night. This is the one that was being dug up by the fox, but yesterday, as you can see, the farmer came in and he cut down all the soybeans. And he must have just ran over the edge of my trap. I can see the track, he ran right through it. he has to, because of where the cabin is, he has to shift the combine over to, you can see where here he drove along the edge of the road here, because he has to clear the cabin there. So that's all part of trapping on farmland. I'll straighten the trap out and repair it, and it'll work just fine. But no other activity today. Where is Mr. Digger? Oh, now that he's cut the soybean, I have some flat areas I can set. And pretty soon he'll be cutting the corn.
Okay, I'll show you how I'm going to pull this trap here. Where the combine harvester drove over it this morning. It's a little bit bent. Can you see that? I have a tool I made for this. Some of the, no, I don't think I didn't use a super stake in this. I used an earth anchor, a Berkshire one. This tool here, it's a flat piece of steel. I can use the hook to set the trap off. I showed this in one of my videos before. All you do is loop it into the trap, either into the cable stake or onto the chain, and then just pull upwards with it. Pulls it right out. That way I'm not, you know, trust me, the farmer comes in here and he's driving a $400,000 or $500,000 piece of equipment. He does not want this getting stuck in his freaking plowshare or in a piece of his farm equipment. That does not make for a good landowner relation. So trapping farmland, always take this stuff out, don't leave it in. But now I got to figure out, I might move this, I might leave this hole here. I'm not going to touch that. I still have one trap active there. I might take that out because that was dug up before. So I think whatever dug it, the fox, I think dug it, he probably urinated on it. I think I'm going to move it or put a new trap in here. The farmer, when he drove over it, you know, he flattened the set completely because of the weight of the weight of the combine. It just flattened it down. So it's still got good eye peel. It's got a ton of scent. I might wait till he cuts the corn. You see the standing corn beside me here. I'm going to say he's probably going to cut that down in a few weeks, not too much longer. It's the end of archery season today. First Monday after Thanksgiving is going to be the start of gun season. That runs for 2 weeks, and then all this stuff will be gone. So actually, I think I'm gonna pull that other trap out of here so he doesn't drive on it. It's probably crushed into the ground by now. There it goes. Same deal with this. Hook it into the swivel. These are a little harder to get out. This is a seat. Here it comes. Let's actually pull the swivel. Look at that. Just lock the chain in there. That is how hard packed this ground is. And it comes apart like that when you pull it. I mean, you could put a truck on that stake and not pull it out. It shows you how much force I put on that. Straighten the S-hook right out. What I should really do with these, if I'm going to use those stakes, you can replace these. You just slide it out and you get another one for it. You know, I got a whole bag of them at home. You just put it through the drowner slide here. This is a heavy duty swivel. You can see it didn't bend the swivel. Just straighten the S-hook. But then I just hooked it on the chain and pulled it out anyway. But what I might do with these is put the S-hook together and then weld it. You know, weld it right at the joint of the hook so it can't come apart. But you see how much force I had to put on that to get it out? There's no animal that you're going to trap in that trap that's going to pull that stake out. Now we're starting to think outside the box a little bit, or maybe inside the box, depending on which way you look at it. I put some meat bait in the back of this cage. Just a small amount of fox urine around it. It's close to the other set where that digger fox has been digging it up for 2 weeks on me now. What I might do is bring either a squirrel carcass, or I think I have a frozen muskrat carcass at home. I'm gonna wire it in the back of this box, so whatever comes to get it has to, you know, work at it and work at it and work at it. Just maybe. I mean, it is hard to get a fox to go into a cage, but not impossible. Especially as it gets colder, and he gets hungrier when it gets colder. That box might look, it might take a week, it might take 3 weeks, but I got time to outweight this digger fox. But I'll leave this cage up and we'll see what happens. At this point, I'll probably be really lucky and catch a skunk in it, but we'll see what works or not works. Okay, here's a little different set. Like I said, they cut this whole bean field. It's all gone. And the corn is still up, because this gives the fox much bigger land. He can roam wherever he wants now because there's no defined edge. But right here by the cabin here, this path here is where I have those other sets, just behind where the cabin is. What I did was I made a flat set, as it were. I piled up some bean chaff here as an attractant. I buried some bait in the bean chaff. Now I have a hole underneath the bean chaff that you can't see from the trap. I covered it with the bean chaff, but there's bait in the hole too to encourage them to stay at the set, to make them work at the set. I have the trap bedded right here. Now I cleared a trail here, cleared another trail here. It just looks like a set of tire marks where the farm truck, you know, was driving in the field. I sifted dirt along here, along the trail, so the dirt all feels the same. Covered it a little bit, blended it a little bit with the bean chaff. The whole place is surrounded by bean chaff, so to encourage the fox, he's not going to like to walk on that. So I cleared the dirt down so he'd walk on the dirt. But the idea is to get him to walk through that set this way. Now, like I said, the bait is here. There's a little bit of urine on top of the bean chaff pile there, and then I have, like I said, bait just stuffed into the bean pile randomly, little pieces of meat bait. So, you know, you want him to try and work at the pile of chaff there, dig it apart to get the bait out of it, and hopefully he'll step in the trap. But none of my other sets were touched yet. Now, I talked to the landowner yesterday. He said 2 times when he was coming up here deer hunting that he had seen a red fox on the trail right here. Now, you can see where the end of the corn goes to, right there. Right next to that is another cut bean field. Then the bean goes over the hill. There's a path that goes all the way down to the farmhouse. This path comes all the way down from another road. So that, he said 2 times now he's seen the fox on that trail. And of course, that's probably my freaking digger, because the other sets I have are right behind the cabin here, and then in the trail through the woods here. Those are the sets that he's been digging up. So, like I said, now that they've cut the bean down, that, you know, the fox can roam wherever he wants. He's got no defined edge to follow, but he's still going to hunt the edge of the woods here. That's why I kept the set close, you know, in the corner here. If you look behind me here, there's the set behind me, right there. We see that it's still a convergence of 2 paths. There's a path behind me here, and there's another trail that follows the edge of the wood line along here, and it goes all the way down. And at the end of the field there's a pond right in the corner on the opposite side, back this side. I caught a big coon there last year. So we'll see. This set is kind of out in the open now. It can't be seen from the road. This is surrounded completely by private property. There's no foot traffic in here. It's all like private land. So I'm not concerned about the fox being out in the open. Nobody's gonna know it's here, only the landowner. And if he sees it, he's just gonna call me. So, but like I said, I check my sets every day. I don't leave animals in traps. So the law in Pennsylvania is that a check every 36 hours, whether it be a conibear you know, and look up for water trapping or a foothold trap. But I check mine every 12. I check them every, you know, every 24 hours at least. I'll check them once before I go to work. I'll check them once when I'm going home from work, and then the same the following day. The longest the animal is going to sit is overnight. I won't leave them in the shed. Well, we'll see if this workup works for Mr. Digger. He hasn't been back, although there's been activity in here for, you know, the farming. They've been mowing the fields and stuff down, so he might be laying low for a couple of days, but I'm sure he'll be back out. We'll see what happens.
You can see here I'm pretty cautious with the odor. I don't carry my traps in the same basket I carry the lure. I have a basket for setting stuff, all my digging tools and stuff, dirt if I need it. I didn't really need it here, although I did antifreeze this set. It's starting to get colder now, so I used calcium chloride in the dirt. I put dry dirt underneath the trap so it won't freeze to the ground, and then I covered it with the dirt that was from the surrounding area, so it all smells the same. It doesn't smell different, but I did use calcium chloride on it so it won't freeze down. But I have my regular gear bag here where you can see my gloves. I keep my gloves away from the lure as well. The lure and bait is in one of these bags, and then I have trapper's caps, cap covers, you know, other little tools and bits and bobs in the bag there that I need. And then I have a little basket here that I use to carry. I mean, I have a big bucket of traps in my car, but I'll just take what I need and carry it down. I don't drive down on the property. Even I could if I wanted to, but I don't. I carry my traps in a separate basket, so they're not, you know, in with the lure. I think that's a good idea. Keep them separate. That way I know there's no risk of contamination.